parents, and I will be, the title of my speech, whenever you're ready to set the timer.
Well, hang on.
Okay. Title of my speech is called Diarrhea for Success. I ate a mistake. I went to Chipotle last night and I got guacamole on my burrito. I thought it would really hit the spot, but it's really hitting me in other places right now, if you know what I'm talking about. And to make matters worse, I went to Chick-fil-A on the way home and got an Oreo milkshake. I'm lactose intolerant. But it's really my own fault. You see, food always sounds good coming in, but coming out, that's a completely different story. Why is it that we're always in the worst situations when we have to use the restroom the most? I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have diarrhea. And my stomach is bubbling right now. Imagine being in bumper to bumper traffic and you're going inch by inch and you really have to go to the restroom. All of a sudden, you see two golden arches. Da 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 da, I'm loving it. McDonald's. You can finally go to the restroom. As a grown man, I hate to admit it, but I've been at red lights and I've sang Taylor Swift's Shake It Off just to distract myself from my bladder. You see, when you really have to hold it in and go to the restroom, you can't think straight. You don't know what your name is, you're fidgeting, you're dancing. You don't want to hear any running water. You try to do anything that you can to distract your mind from your bladder. So it's like, the last thing that you want to tell someone when you're in a situation where you can't just get up and go is, I apologize, but I'm gonna need you to wait about 30 to 45 minutes before you go to the restroom or anywhere in that area whatsoever, just to be safe, okay? That's embarrassing. Nobody wants to tell anybody that. So what I want y'all to walk away with is being mindful of what your body is telling you, of what this world and this life is telling you. I want my mistake to be an example of what you can do with your life. I want y'all to use my example, remember my example. What if you were in a situation where you couldn't let go of that uncomfortable, irritating, irresistible bladder until you met your goal? Can you imagine living your life being uncomfortable until you hit your goal? That's hell on earth, seriously. And I have 3 reactions that can lead to a better outcome. The very first one is resistance. You see, I had a milkshake, and I'm lactose intolerant. I love milkshakes, but they do not love me back. See, when I have milkshakes or when I have too much dairy, cheese, milk, my body creates resistance because it can't really compute what I put into it. So you gotta really think about it. What is it that you're putting into your body, into your life that's really not compatible? That your body can't really break down, that your mind can't break down, you know? Perhaps that double bacon cheeseburger isn't compatible with your goal of losing 10 pounds. Perhaps your lack of having a budget isn't compatible with being able to provide for your family. So when it comes down to it, you gotta ask yourself, what is it that you're putting into your life that you're always having to fight with? The next one. Who all here has cell phones? If you have a cell phone, raise your hand. If you have a cell phone, that means you can get notifications. This world, this life will give you notifications. My notification came in the form of flatulence. Farting. I have gas right now. Or as my son likes to say, poot. Or as I like to say, my personal favorite, funk wind. Life will present different kind of notifications, and they'll come in different shapes, sizes. Some will be very apparent, and some will be not so apparent. Perhaps getting written up at work is a clear warning sign. Getting into an argument with your spouse to the point where you take your wedding rings off and words are exchanged is a clear sign. And it doesn't really matter how these signs present themselves. What matters is the action that you take on them. The last one that I have is pressure. You see, if you ignore the resistance, if you ignore the things that you put into your life, if you ignore that, you will have pressure that builds up. And when you have too much pressure that builds up, what do you have? You have to get new pants. At least I did. So if you don't remember anything, I want you to remember this. Many of us eat opportunity. Many of us drink hesitation, but many of us poop resistance. This is Diarrhea for Success. Thank you.